How long you been modeling?
Yeah, about a decade, I want to
Decade.
say. Yeah.
A decade.
I wish I could give you the start, but I have like the date of my first ever shoot, which was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
So let's run by that real quick. How did you get into photography?
Yeah, it
or
was
not
a-
photography, but how did you get into modeling?
Yeah, of course. It was an accident, actually. One of my best friends growing up, she wanted to pursue photography. And we were still friends, and I'm probably like, I don't know how old. I mean, I was in my 20s, like early 20s, and she just wanted to play around with her camera. So she invited me, and she's like, hey, I just want to, practice taking like some senior style photos. She's like, wear what you want, just come on down and we'll have some fun with the camera. And we were just walking around these gravel roads taking photos, and she posted the photos to a Kansas City photography webpage, and I've been getting booked ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, and I kind of want to chalk that up like right place, right time, right people, because it just ended up blowing up.
Are you originally from Kansas City?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said this was what, senior photos? Mm-hmm. Been doing it for about 10 years. Would you say you in love with modeling?
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, just from a human nature aspect of it, because part of the experience of being a human is putting on a mask, and I feel like you get to do that a lot with modeling, like drop whatever your problems are, because you just get to develop this new person that, like, if you're lucky enough to get your makeup and your hair done and like put on a new outfit, like it's no longer me anymore. I just get to play around with this persona and have fun with it.
What's your favorite thing about it?
My favorite thing about modeling, it's challenging at some times. Like there are times where like they just want the same thing from you, but for me, it's also the fact that I am considered different in the community, like not the same body standard. I don't have the same facial structures, like broad shoulders, big old hips. Like I'm tall, I got red hair. Like that's kind of what makes me different. So putting me into something that everybody else has is what's really fun, because I can still like give something different to what everybody else has seen. So I really like that. I mean, to adapt on what Lucrezia said, it's very much so adapted on that. I really like the what people want to do that's different, they come to me as well. So like, you have your standard photo shoots. Like you have just like the basic fashion, you have a basic variety of everything, but like when somebody wants to get creative, because I love that so much, like let's do something weird, let's do something different. I feel like I strive with those kind of concepts because I don't care. Like I just have fun with it. Like I don't really have a standard of how I want to look or how I need to look. And I just want to give them something special because that's what they wanted to do in the first place. And it's an honor just to be considered for something like a different project that nobody else has seen. Like that stuff I really enjoy. Being crazy, being weird.
I would say one of the things about you that stood out to me, like instantly, and even to this day, most people want to mention or big up the next person's work, but some of your work from other photographers, I think I expressed this to you before, I feel like your poses are so, I won't even say unique, but you nail your poses so well to where I feel like every photographer you bring out the best in them. Maybe they just really great photographers, and a lot of them are, but I feel like you offer something different to each one, and you mesh well with. You seem like a people person, so you mesh well. You bring out the best of that photographer. So I think I asked before when we first shot together, where did you get your posing from? And I'm still surprised by that answer. Maybe I was sleepy that day, so maybe you didn't say what I thought you said. But I would ask again, where did you get your posing from?
No one. I'm going to be 100% honest.
That's the part that's hard to believe.
That was the hardest part, to just because I had to figure this out for myself, Because you don't see someone like me on a runway. Like, where's the inspiration photos for someone like me? There's not. So the fact that I chalk it up to just people wanting to try something new with me, because that's how I learned. I got to see all the photos and I didn't really have any boundaries because like I had a standard that I couldn't look up to, you know what I mean? So I'm like, it's on me to make that template now. And I leaned into that. So I was like, whatever makes me different from these photos, I'll attempt it, but it's still gonna look different on me because none of the inspiration is like me. So a part of that was just doing whatever the photographer wanted to do, or just be, I take critique a lot, like at first, because like I'll give them a pose and I'm just like, okay, critique it. What needs to evolve from here? And obviously critiquing myself in the photos more, because I'm just like, this would have been cool if I did something different like this, and then I'll remember it for later and just like, it doesn't matter what movement it is, like I'm gonna make it work. And that's also what I had to learn.
What, like, I guess, and I want to know, like, what's going on in your head when you modeling? And not to keep harping on your poses, but like your facial expressions, it always seems like a story. That's what I mean by when you give something different to every photographer. Like the ones that, so many photos on your page where I just felt like they're taken out of a magazine or could be put in a magazine. Like the ones where you have like the bridal wear on and a cowgirl hat, or out in the sand dunes or whatever it's called. But your face, it's not a resting face. It's storytelling. Your eyes and your expression is very captivating, and it's just so hard to believe. Like you just start doing it. Like, so I guess now I want to know, like, what's going on in your head? Like, are you looking at inspiration the night beforehand, or are you watching videos, or is it a certain thought that's going on?
Not at all. I wish I could tell you that there is, but I do chalk that up a lot to the mask. That
Okay.
like, because the end look, it's a new persona.
Okay.
So I don't want to give the same every time.
That's the answer. So I guess if somebody was asking that's into modeling, they're like, hey, so pretend you got a mask on. And that's funny that you say that, because I remember watching a YouTube video a long time ago, years ago. A photographer was like, he tell his models to give them, for expression he would name a certain movie scene or an actress. And he would tell them, let's see, Viola Davis, and what's a recent movie she played in, or something like that.
Yeah.
And as soon as you say that, it's like instant, boom, or a male actor, something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's putting on the mask. I'm glad you said that, because when I used to use that, it helped a little bit, but for some reason I stopped using it. I forgot all about it. So yeah, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope.
I mean, there are times when like I'm clueless,
Yeah.
because there's something you have to learn, like, but like as a model, it's not my job to just do what I only want.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing my job as a model if I just feel insecure the entire time. It's not about that. You have to bring something different. You can't bring the same thing every time. Like you have to be different. That's your job.
What advice would you give to a photographer, new or experienced, probably not experienced, but new, or that's not too comfortable with giving direction, or doesn't know how to give direction? Because a lot of models do look for the photographer to pose them or tell them what to do. And I found that very challenging in the beginning, because it's like, a lot of photographers like working with someone that's comfortable in front of the camera and already know their poses, but it's not wrong for a model to want some direction, because it should be a team effort. So what advice would you give to a photographer that's struggling in that specific area? Because I found that an area that I still struggle in to this day too, especially if it's a model that's on 80% of direction. And I'm like, dang, like, okay. So it's like, what advice would you give to the photographers? Like, what advice would you give to a photographer that's struggling in that specific area? Because I found that an area that I still struggle in to this day too, especially if it's a model that's on 80% of direction. And I'm like, dang, like, okay. So it's like, what advice would you give to the photographers? Like,
For a photographer, I feel like that's very situationally based. I mean, it all depends on your model too, like how comfortable they are. If they're not comfortable in front of the camera, obviously that's going to pose a lot more challenges for you, because they're not going to be open to looking like how they're not supposed to, or how they don't want to see themselves. Especially if it's just like putting a leg in a different spot, like that's going to make them uncomfortable. I feel like setting the energy for the shoot is really important as well, because I mean, you can be very receptive. Like this is a very like intimate, fun moment between you. It's like a connection, because you guys are both creating something together. You're both making part of this really beautiful picture, and you have something in mind. I may have something different, and I obviously can't see what you're seeing behind the camera. I would just set the tone to be creative. Like don't start off standoffish, you know, like have lots of energy, and like give the model, not her or him, but give him more confidence, and just be like, what you're doing is awesome. Like, I love this. Like, adapt on that. Be like, stay there, move. Like, you can be excited for them. Like, don't just give her the, like, if you put, the doubt in her head, like, and I'm in front of the camera, I'm just like, oh, you didn't like that, I'm never gonna do that again. You know what I mean? Because, like, and also accept everything as the photographer. Like, if they're not, you never know if they're not sure about a pose. Like, if I'm giving you something different, it's different to me, but you don't know that. And again, it's not on you to make it work, but just be like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, whatever they give you, just be really receptive to it and just adapt on that. So, like, if they're comfortable in this one position, just be like, stay right there, but just move this, and then they'll get, you're setting the vibe, you're loosening them up,
So it's more vibe, situational.
It is, and I'm very receptive to how you respond to the photos. You know what I mean? Because, like, I can tell just from where I am, just be like, okay, well, he didn't like that. Because, like, just be aware that we are also receptive to.
And I feel that sometimes, because sometimes when I try not, I guess, when there's silence, and a lot of times when I'm figuring out my camera, it's not that. It's like you facing two battles, because I don't want the model to think that I'm not liking the poses, or sometimes the model will be like, is everything good? It's like they think something's wrong with the photo shoot, and it's not that. It may be more than likely it's my lighting, or something's funny's going on with the camera. And like I said before, that's embarrassing whenever it seems like you don't know what you're doing, and the model's like, okay, this guy don't know what he's doing. He's been fidgeting with the camera forever. Now, I hate when that happens. So, well, I guess I want to ask this too. I don't want to get too off topic, but, like, have you ever considered, like, being on set and helping pose and stuff?
I have, actually. Yeah, that same photographer that got me started, I pose boudoir models for her. She runs classes, and so she'll do, like, mini marathons, and I'll just be there and I'll help pose the girl.
Yeah.
And it does something dramatic with the confidence of that person, because they're not used to being in front of a camera, but that's also part of my job, is setting the tone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, hyping them up, egging them on them. Like, you look perfect, like, keeping the energy high, because you don't want that insecurity to sneak in there. It's hard to get it out once it's there, like the doubt. You don't ever want that in a moment when they're obviously exposed in this state. You just have to keep the energy high, give them reassure, confidence, you know what I mean? Because it's easy to lose. And you don't want to ever doubt that they're doing a bad job. I'm just there to help, you know what I mean? But you obviously control the room when you have done that. Like, you have to, and I tell them at first, like, don't take offense. I'm just helping you. I want to make you feel beautiful right now. What you're doing is perfect. We just see it from a different light. So, like, you can't see the camera for a reason. So, like, I want you to feel good about what's on that camera. I'm helping you do that.
Now, to piggyback off of what you were saying, don't get offended by what I'm saying. That's part of the problem, I think, because people feel like if I give a suggestion or if I offer something different, oh, they're criticizing me. It means I did something wrong. Whether when it comes to photo shoot, modeling, makeup, the angles of the picture, of the light, is just a different way of looking at the same thing. So it's a suggestion to try to do something different that you may have not thought about, rather than I'm correcting what you're doing.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
But people that can receive that, they are very confident in what they do already. So they know you carry yourself with a lot of confidence. That's never snobbish. That's what I really like about you, working with you. You're very friendly in your approach, even though you bring a high level of professionalism to the shoot.
Thank you.
I'm here. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna give it to you. You know, I'm gonna do. But at the same time, I'm also very approachable and friendly.
Right. Well, and it also tells a lot about the model, how coachable they are. Like, you want somebody who's going to be open to new stuff and new ideas. Like, you stick to the same thing every time, you're going to get the same photo every time. You want someone who's going to take your ideas into consideration as well. So, like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable in this position, but it doesn't matter, because it looks different. Like, it doesn't matter how I think about it in the moment. So, like, you want to work with more people like that in the first place. Like, you don't want to work with somebody who be like, no, I don't want to do that. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, but from your standpoint, this is the picture you're trying to get and capture. And that's on me to make as a model. So, like, somebody who's uncomfortable in front of a camera is just obviously not gonna be the goal for the majority of what your project is, especially as an artist. Like you have to work with that person. It's on me to work with you as well. It's not just like on you too.
What are some of your challenges navigating the whole model world?
Navigating the model
Yeah.
world.
It seemed like you got everything nailed down. Like, what are some of your biggest challenges?
Biggest challenges, I mean, I still worry about how I'm making the picture look for the photographer always. I always like worry about that, like how they are perceiving what I'm giving them, because sometimes what I know is not always going to be best, or like this is not the vibe that they wanted. Like I'm expected at this level to give everything I got to you and be receptive about that, but sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? I always worry about how they're feeling during the shoot, because I'm like, let me change it up. Like, let me do something different. Let me do what you want me to do. And to piggyback on that, it's a lot of times photographers will just be like, there's no plan, whatever you want to do. Which is like, it's fine, it's great, because from my level, I'm like, great, let's get weird, let's get different, let's do something not everybody else does. But on a consistent level, if there's not like a certain plan in mind, if there's no inspiration, there needs to be a start to it, because I have to give you something. Otherwise, I'm just going to give you something interesting that's not going to be the end picture of what we wanted. Like, it's just going to be different. It's going to be weird in a bad way. So I value direction as far as that goes, just a little bit. Like, I don't even need that much, you know what I mean? But it's like, well, I don't know what I want to shoot. And I'm like,
Dang, I'm so guilty of
Possibilities
that.
are endless.
I'm super guilty of that. But that's good information that some people probably need to know, because I'm super guilty of, well, not now, because I'm trying to value my time a lot more. So I'm trying to be more intentional with my shoots. But beforehand, it was just like, I don't know what I want to shoot. I just want to shoot. Let's just shoot.
and
Yeah.
again, that's fun, especially when you're building a rapport
Yeah.
with people in the industry, because I feel like that's important. Like, if you click as like, because you're coworkers,
Yeah,
essentially.
right,
like, you
right.
have to work together well eventually, even if there's nothing on the table. But like, I get excited about concepts.
Yeah, and the concept seems to work a lot more better. It takes more time, but it's like of course, going to involve more communication and understanding. So y'all have more of your ideals are more aligned versus just randomly saying, "Hey, let's shoot," and then nothing goes right, or people's expectations aren't met, and a relationship could be ruined because y'all just wanted to get together and didn't have a clear plan thought out. So I do see why I can see the benefits of coming up with a concept and having a clear plan.
I mean, I wouldn't even say it like that either, because I think of it as an adaptation standpoint. Like, we have a start, and I can adapt from there.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
like
okay.
you're giving me one thing, and I got it in my head, and once we're in the studio, I do the pose, and I'm like, all of this inspiration comes now that I'm in it, as long as we started from somewhere. Because then ideas just filter between me and you. Like, just that one start is all we need. It's all I need to just adapt off of this look, off of this mask, off of the vibe, everything.
What's your outside thing?
My what?
Your outside thing. I don't want to say hobby, but it's something about you that gives off an artistic vibe. Like, did you draw growing up? What's your art? Is it music? It's something
That
about
was gonna
you.
be my next
Yeah,
question.
it's something
Yes.
about your vibe. Like, what's your artistic vibe? Am I asking it correctly, or
Yes, so
Yeah.
I was wondering if you had any background in art or music or
Yes.
anything like that.
Growing up, it was a really artistic household.
Okay.
My father was an architect, and my mother
Oh.
played music for her
Yeah.
Slovakian church that she grew into. So it's like a different kind of music. He also was involved in music as well. So it was a lot of music in the house, but also a lot of that architectural art. So I adapted on that when I was in high school. I didn't really pursue it. None of us actually adapted music. I actually involved more dance. So I did, and it's the craziest thing. I love Western country dancing. So that's what I adapted in college, and that's kind of the only art that I still remain true to.
Well, you know, a good model is very aware of her body and her
Yes.
angles, so definitely a background in dance gives you that, right?
And the
It's-
total physical control, like when
Correct.
you were asking, like, what are you thinking? I'm like, I'm thinking about every part of my body right now, and what I need to relax and what I need to, because I'm just very aware. You learn to be self-aware when you're modeling.
See,
You learn to be.
That's why I need you on set. I need you on set because I can see it in the models, not all of them, but sometimes I can see it in the model's face. They're just looking for direction. Their face may just be blank or puzzled, and I feel like I'm failing on my behalf because I done seen YouTube photographers that know how to direct their models, get them right, and this and that, and I feel like I failed big time on that part because I don't offer that, or I try my best to get away from giving as much direction as I can. Besides, stop, hold that, or move your head this and there. But as far as the ultimate posing, I feel like I suck on that part, and that's why it's so refreshing working with someone who's comfortable in front of the lens. But it's not fair to the model that's wanting that direction. So that's why I was like, I love to have somebody like you on set because I have a good feeling that whatever I'm missing, you're gonna be able to identify it right off top and, you know, pick up where I'm, what you like to say all the time, pick up.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. And that's one of the joys I like about doing this collaborative effort and team thing because it's like when I was shooting with you two, Lucretia was helping with so much stuff that I didn't even have to pay attention to, from going back, checking the cameras, to coming over and fixing your hair, to, you know, just every little thing, or, hey, the lighting, she's sitting on the wall, maybe you should move your light. All right, cool. Like, that's so refreshing because you really get to focus on the technical part of it.
And the small details really they matter. Like
Yes.
her fixing my hair, instrumental, I'm sure, in all of the photos. Her just touching up the makeup. Like that makes such a difference and it keeps my spirits high because I'm like, I know I still look good. You know what I mean? But it does make me sad that there are models out there who need so much direction. Like there's no creativity. You know what I mean? Like that's not the point. I'm not supposed to direct you as a photographer. You're not supposed to like, let me see what you have. Like let's experiment. Like that's how I learned because there was no one coaching me. Do you know what I mean? Like you can take inspiration from people, but it's on you to figure out what you like. Like you like yourself in one pose, what else? You know what I mean? Give some variety and try it out. Like it doesn't matter if you're uncomfortable because you don't know until you see the photos. But you could also spark inspiration in the photographer, like I loved this. And that's what I'm gonna take and remember. And like pose, again with posing all that, like don't be afraid to see yourself as an uncomfortable in the position now. Just trust that this is like, you're gonna make this look good. That's your job. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you feel insecure about it. It doesn't matter. Make it look good because that can be shown on camera. And you want to experiment with that. So like it's difficult for you though, because do you give them the space to like branch out, move how they want? Or if they're not giving you what they like, it just really depends on who you're working with and their experience level, their confidence level for sure. I mean, having Lucretia there, she was just keeping the vibes, you know, high and light. And so like, yeah, having people there matters, but.
What's your best way to say it without being offensive?
No, you're not gonna offend me.
I love offensive.
Do it. You're not gonna offend me, I promise.
The same sentiments that you have about her being overly qualified, I have similar sentiments about, I know you do it for fun, it looks you having fun with it, but do you take it serious enough to where, just do like a leap of faith, or is it serious enough to you to where I'm going to LA? I'm about to just invest, go to LA, and what's the word?
Give it a shot.
Give it a
in
little bit.
different market.
Yeah, give it a different market, more exposure, and work with some people in a totally different network. Then I'm gonna go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna go to New York.
What keeps
Then
you
I'm gonna-
here?
Yeah. What keeps you here? Not to downplay none of any photographers here, because everybody you work with do great quality work. But it's kind of like your favorite music artist, and then you got your favorite actors, and you're like, man, I really would like to see these two in a movie together. Or I just think you are so great of a model. I want to see you. It's only so much I can do, or I feel like certain people can do. I want to see you in this person's hands, or grace the cover. It's like, do you have aspirations outside of just doing it like for fun or recreational?
Absolutely. There was a time when I first started getting into the industry, maybe a few years in, where my ear, like I'm researching on my own. I'm seeing what the possibilities are with it, and I know it's a naive way of taking it, but if I don't set myself up so high, I'm not gonna be disappointed because everything, like every shoot was so special. Like I really wanted to cherish that, and whatever's meant for me is gonna come to me, especially with art like this. Like it's not, my livable job. Like I have the room to keep it magical, to keep it special, to keep it creative. And I didn't want to put so much pressure on it for me to rely on it, you know what I mean? And then in doing my research, there's beauty standards for everywhere. So I learned like if I was to go to the West Coast, I obviously wouldn't fit in there. You know what I mean? West Coast, East Coast beauty standards, certain people thrive in certain places.
To piggyback off what she was saying, because sometimes we don't see ourselves the way the outside world view us, and your confidence, you have a kick-ass confident level to where you kind of set your own tone. You set your own. That's how I feel when I see your work. It's like you're not emulating what's going on. Like you're more of, I would want my photos to look like hers. Like you set your own tone. I think you would thrive in any market. I think you would stand out. Like I would like to see you like just say, hey, I'm about to just taking this trip to LA or wherever, just somewhere different. I'm gonna go work. I'm about to broaden my network. I would like to see that because I see something in you as far as what you're doing. Same way you feel about her.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I have been told by other people in the industry, and again, this was 40 pounds ago, that I could only do plus size, that I was already limited in my skill set. And I didn't obviously take it personally because I'm just like, okay, that's what you think. But I'm here talking to you, doing the same thing you're doing. You know what I mean? So you can take advice like that from people and they were already in the industry well. Or just like if I was to ask about going to New York, which I did, and they're just like, no.
But you got to also keep in mind, a lot of times people, of course we discuss gatekeep, but also a lot of times people see your potential. And if I give you this game, I know I can't go. I know I can't. I'm limited, but I see your potential. So I'm not gonna give you so much because I don't want you to go where I wish I could go. So you got to keep in mind with some of the stuff, the advice that people give you, like it can be to discourage you. Not only that, but we live in a different day and age. We got social media and stuff like that. You can build your own. You don't have to. You don't have to go by what the standards are. Create your own standards, especially when you already have a following or fan base. I think your work comes off very genuine. So I would just like to see that. I think you could build your own fan base, both of you all.
Thank you.
It's like y'all it's very genuine, and it's like y'all holding on to y'all core values and just the essence of why y'all doing it versus following a trend. But you really got to keep that in mind when people are giving you advice. It's not always good advice.
Well, and absolutely, and to adapt on that, just because of what people told me I was limited to, it changed my perspective. Because it's again, like that's their standard of mold, and I have something that is different from everybody else. So it's like, why would I, again, want to be that same standard that they see as successful? Whereas like I have something different, and that's my privilege. I get to work with something else that standard doesn't have. And that makes me, in my own mind, happier. Because I'm just like, yeah, everybody looks the same somewhere else when they're doing the same modeling on a runway. Like, do you ever see hips on a runway? Do you see anything jiggle on anybody? But it's like, that's my privilege to have and adapt on. Because yes, that is successful to them. But if I were to hold myself to that standard, it wouldn't be me anymore. Because then who are you photographing? Because like I have the appeal that is different. Why would I remove that? Because in order to get to those places, I would have to change in certain ways. I mean, by some standards, I'm already too old for some industries. Or like, again, if I'm aging radically according to the standard, like I don't want to conform and kind of kill parts of myself that I've already evolved in this art. So I do lean into my differences. And that's what sets me apart already. And especially here, I feel like it does. Because I don't, again, want to conform. Like it's boring, And when I was learning to pose, that was really important. because I had to, at first I was posing the way I would see inspiration. Like, again, there's no inspiration for me. So like, I'm trying to be somebody else that I see, but instead I'm like, this isn't working for me. It doesn't look right. So lean into what makes you different. Lean into your weight, lean into your skin, hair, something that makes you different, lean into it and adapt on that. And I think that's what made my skill set the way that it is now. I didn't want to take any inspiration from anybody else, and I leaned into the differences, but I know unfortunately in certain parts of the world that's not going to work, and that's fine with me, because maybe I'm modeling for somebody 2 decades from now, you know, like it, just because it's not working for me at this moment to the standard that is considered the highest, maybe 10 years from now someone's going to see it and be like, oh my God, finally, somebody did this already. Like, this is inspiration for me, just because I don't have to make it there to be successful. And while I would like to experience something like that, because it would be an honor, one, to just, I would be the, you know, biggest person in the room. And there's already like that's gonna mess with me in my head. Like here it doesn't so much, but like the judgment that comes from other people and the standard that they set in the industry is gonna take a toll. And until that changes, I'll probably feel comfortable or more comfortable going to some place like that. But until then, I'm just gonna adapt on being weird.
I think that the local market receives very well that you're unique and different in what you do, so much so that I'm pretty sure every makeup artist or local photographer has at least a picture of you on their social media. People remember you for being unique and different. Me myself included, you know, people are like, you know Leslie. Yeah, I know Leslie, you know, we know Leslie. Everybody knows Leslie. Like, come on, we all know. So I was wondering if you ever thought about tapping into coaching, because you have such a unique point of view that's different, that's not afraid of standing out from the crowd. Mm-hmm. So have you ever thought about providing some sort of education for other models that may feel they want to do something like that or approach modeling from that same point of view, but they're just too scared, or maybe they really don't know how or where to start?
I have considered coaching.
Okay.
And I wish I had more basis for this, but I don't have sources, because everything I've learned, I had to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like there's no information on it. And it's so individually based. It's not just like, you can't just copy, like you can copy and you can form to whatever look you want to. You can have your own style and your own look. You can copy somebody else's work if you want. But what's really gonna help you learn is being different and not studying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, it's the opposite way of how anybody learns. You know, the only thing I'm gonna do is just like, you're different, great, you already win. Be weird. Right. Like if you want to be creative, lean into what makes you different and unique. But it's hard to tell people, like especially young women, that, because they have that picture in their head. Because there's already so much inspiration out there to take. Like they don't see anything different. So like, again, they do want to look a certain way. And coaching them would just be counterintuitive, because again, they have to be coachable. If they want to get into modeling, they have to turn it off. Yep. Like turn off everything. It doesn't matter how you feel. Your job is to be something different. Like you're not, and if I could shake her, I'd be like, you're not meant to look like everybody else, you know what I mean? Because that's what I would tell myself. It's like, no, just embrace something different, do something weird, but that being uncomfortable is not everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
So I feel like that is not a coachable thing either. If I could do that by example, I could totally. But I mean, coaching that into somebody is a learned trait. So if I could teach somebody to start there, I would. But again, if I'm teaching you posing, I'm just, you know, you're copying, pasting, and that's what I had to adapt and learn. It's like, I'm totally happy to do. Because if this is what gives her confidence, if I can help her, pose her in a way to where she feels that she's beautiful, I feel like I've done my job, but I haven't taught her anything. So something like that is so individual, and it's just your confidence levels, your mindset.
True.
Yes, it's very hard to portray too. But that's how I also found out it's not just a look, it's a talent. You know, like you watch other people, it's like, yeah, I have cellulite. Like things jiggle, my arms aren't as toned as everybody else. Like the wrinkles on my face. Like it's not just a look that you have to have, it is a talent. You know, because like you can look like everybody else and like the picture's gonna come out great, but I'll do the same thing and look better than you when you don't know what you're doing, but you have the look. Like, it is a talent, and it's not just, like, you have to adapt on your look.
Do you think that that's something that we are just born with? Like, you either have it or you don't? Does it come from life experiences? Does it come from work experiences? Where does it come from? Why some people
All of it.
have that and when some people don't?
All of it, I'd say. And again, like, that ability to shut off any emotion in the moment, I feel like is a learned trait. Being a people person, being comfortable in a busy environment, like, all of this is kind of, you know, ingrained into who you are as a person, introverted or extroverted. But again, I don't even think that matters, because if you're introverted, you can shut it off for the job, which is what it requires. You know what I mean? Bringing your authentic self, I think, is probably the biggest important part of that. Like, whatever you bring and whoever you vibe with is going to be your people anyway. Like, if you're struggling in this community, maybe it's just not for you. So, like, take that as the direction. I would say, like, yeah, if you can adapt your confidence levels, or if you're still struggling to find your look, like, maybe just this isn't for you and you're having a terrible time. But if you're still having a good time, like, I'm 30, I'm still having a great time, then I know I'm meant to be here and I'm still learning. I just think that that's, again, individually based, like, if you are born with it or not. Because, like, again, modeling, posing is a skill you can adapt. Like, all of the parts of it are skills, but where's your passion? You know what I mean? What else can you bring different to the table still? Because it's still ever changing.
True.
It's an ever changing community. You have to evolve with that too. You don't have to if you don't make the choice, but
Right.
whatever
What
you
are
lean
your,
into.
goals for the future?
I wish I could tell you goals. It's been working for me that I don't have any, if that makes sense. And I hate, because I want to take it seriously, and I really do, and I really try. So, like, when I do come to shoots, I put a lot of effort into, like, prep the 2 days before, you know, like, I'm making sure I'm eating, drinking, stretching, doing all the preparation to make that as special as it is. But having the goals and setting myself up for a disappointment is not what I ever want to see myself do. Like, and of course I can go and try. Like, that's still great that I was able to do that and try and fail. It's an honor to fail if you try at something.
So let me ask, is it a defense mechanism?
I wouldn't say so, just because to me it's a gift.
Okay.
To me it's a privilege.
Okay.
And I'm going to treat it like that.
Okay.
I don't want to
Okay.
taint it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can totally relate. Trust me, I can relate. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. Not to get off topic, but not necessarily model or photography related, but I want to know what motivates you when you get out of bed in the morning. What motivates you?
Oh man. When I'm thinking about it, I get to look back and say that I got to do this and I got to choose to do this. Like, everybody else could have, you know, you go with the grain. It's easier that way. Whereas this way, I'm putting more time and effort, and it's a gift. Like, not a lot of people, I don't know any other person my age who's doing this and having a great time and keeps getting booked for shoots. Like, all of it is just so special, and so I'm going to enjoy this while I can. You know what I mean? Because it's different. But, like, I can't have a standard for something like that because nobody else is doing it. And again, I'm going against the grain, so it's a little bit harder, but it's like what kind of keeps me going into it is, let's see how far this goes.
Okay.
And because I've had that mindset, it has gone farther than I could have ever imagined. Like, I just did a short film. Like, I started doing an acting project, and that's coming more into, like, my skill set now. And that was never in the cards before. But it's just like, again, whatever's meant for me is going to come for me with this. All I have to do is take care of myself and enjoy it while it lasts, because I want to see to it that it does.
What's your definition of not just success but succeeding in this industry, or success in general? What's your definition?
Of succeeding in this industry?
Or success, just success in general. What's your definition?
Ooh, success. Yeah, if you are happy, honestly, like, internally, like, you don't get, honestly, no validation, I think that's success. Like, you don't need any validation from anybody because you're at peace with yourself. Like, you don't look to others to help you with this. Like, if I don't book another shoot, I'm terrible. Or, like, nobody wants to work with me anymore. It's like, Looking back, if you are happy and proud of everything that you've done and to put into the world artistically, I've already won.
That's tough. I think, yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna be honest, that's tough. That's a tough one. That's tough.
I think that it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
It is, and it's different, but the community's so incredible.
How do you get to that level of thinking? How do you get to that level of thinking?
I feel like I'm just observing everybody else in the community, I want to say, because they're obviously an influence. Like, however much light you see light in everybody's eyes in this industry. And I'm just like, I strive to be this happy every time I'm at a shoot. Like, that's why I keep coming. Like, that's why I love everybody in the industry, because our souls are being fed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see anybody else outside of this setting be as happy as we are right now. You know, like, that's addicting.
It is.
And that's an influence that I take really heavily.
I think that's the scary part to me. Sometimes I feel like, especially when it's something I really enjoy, I can become obsessed with perfection. I can become, like, I'm thinking nonstop about what I could have done better, about what I'm going to get to try out in the future. And it takes away from other things when you become overly obsessive about a craft. And like right now, I'm trying to find some balance between certain things. And it's like, you know how obsessive you can become when it's something that you really enjoy. I'm afraid of navigating too far away from photography, because usually when I move on, I don't go back to what I was obsessed about before, because something else has taken that place. So I guess the question is, do you struggle with finding balance? And if so, or if you don't, how do you find your balance? How do you go about that?
Between, like,
Life-
this
life-
world, or
Or
like,
just, so to balancing not just the modeling, but modeling your life and the other activities that you do. How do you control not getting so focused? Because sometimes it has a downside to it. So it has its perks because you get better. Your craft evolve, your skills evolve over time, right? But there are also downsides because you can get burnt out, right?
Yes.
You start resent certain work you did because so it's like, how do you find that balance for you personally?
taking on anything you're scared of. Find, like, if an opportunity is coming to me and I'm just like, I don't have this look. This is not the vibe I ever wanted to portray. This is not something I'm comfortable with, in a sense that, like, I don't want to be seen in this light, or it's like, I know nothing about this subject. So, like, it's easy to say no to something you don't know, but it's a learning process to be like, yeah, I'll be there because I can make it work. And that's like that creative spark again. It's that taking on something you don't know anything about and adapting on that mask. And that's what creates like that soul spark. And I think that's what keeps me refreshed in the community.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, I may not be seen the way I like being seen. Like, I may hate some of the concepts of this, but it doesn't really matter because this is going to create a new spark that I need to touch. You know what I mean? Like, not touch, but like, this is going to create something that's going to be different and new. And that's what I want to keep feeling in this industry. Because if you're not feeling anything new, you're not being challenged. So, I mean, but like, even going back to like all the, like, working with you, we're still adapting on our style. Like, there's still so much work to be done. And I think that's what keeps me going. So, like, even, yeah, we had one shoot, but like, that's not all we could learn from each other. That's not the only looks we're capable of. Like, there's just still so much to experience with everybody. And so I think that's what keeps me like balanced and going, because I'm just like, I have to come into it with a learning mindset because I'm still learning. You know, I'm learning what you like. I'm learning the tastes that you like, what we work best with together, and like, let's give something each other different. The more weird we can get, the more better a new concept's gonna come, and like, seeing me in a different light is always exciting. Like, that's the kind of the main drive. I'm just like, I wanna see me do everything. You know, like, I don't wanna limit my talent, you know, and keep making those connections. That's another spark. Like the more shoots I take on, the more people I meet in the industry. That's how I get a commercial shoot. You know what I mean? Like that's how you meet more people and adapt your own talent. Like just don't ever stop. That's another thing.
That's game. You speaking to me directly because I limit myself a lot. I think it's just I play it safe a lot, you know. So you speaking big time.
I think that a common trait that we all have in this room is being humble. And I think that that's what kind of adds to the professionalism. What I mean is that we just assume that a professional person comes in, you know, and they know what they're doing and they're going to take control and they're going to be an ass just because they know what they're doing, right? Whether in reality, those that are the most professionals are the ones that are humble because they're willing to do something different, try something different, and listen and collaborate with others. Yeah. So, and this whole interview, definitely, I can definitely tell how humble and with what kind of humbleness you come to the work. And that's what makes you different and elevates your performance as a model because you're willing to, what's the word I'm looking for? Put yourself under a different light and try something that can feel weird and try something that maybe this is not my best angle. Who cares? You're humble enough to be willing to do so. Yeah. And that's when you elevate the work.
Right. You have to be willing to be embarrassed sometimes.
Right.
But because you can see it on camera. Like if I'm embarrassed and I'm insecure, they're going to capture that. And I'm going to have to remember that. And that's the look that they're getting. That's some trash. Is all I'm going to say. Like put it away. You get to put it away. Like I'm in the environment, you can shut it off. Like how relieving is that? Like nothing I do is going to be weird because we're making something new. We're not just plastering the same on every camera. You know what I mean?
I think a question that I skipped, I should have asked both of you all, but we're gonna interview you again another time. Look, we're gonna create content. So this question is gonna come to you at a later time too. But advice, if you can go back at the start of your modeling career 10 years ago and give what would have been 20-year-old? Yeah. 20-year-old Leslie advice. What are some advice you would give yourself? You already know what's going to pan out up into this present day.
I'm running it through in my mind like what I needed to hear because I did. Like I worked really hard. You know what I mean? So like I was in college at K-State driving 2 days a week, 4 hours, just for a shoot, going back to class. So it's like that's why it's special to me. But if I'm like listening to myself, and I'm like, I got her by the neck. You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to look like everybody. Okay. You know what I mean? Like stop holding yourself to a damn template. That's what I would say. Quit it. Like because comparison again is a thief of joy, and that's what you constantly do as a young woman, and to keep doing that and it puts doubt in your head. Like you're not supposed to. Like that's the wrong thing. But like no one was there to tell me otherwise. And I feel like I was just in a naive state to limit myself, be like, I can't do it. Like I'm too insecure. Luckily I was too naive to even think that because I'm just like, I went in like that, but it automatically felt wrong. Like correcting myself on how because like what you guys give me, like the reactions that you gave me keep me going. Even though I have the doubts, I'm just like, no, like I can't do that. Like they want something else. Like they're not really getting the image that they want. Like it was like a last minute thing. And I'm just like, shut up. Like you are different and you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be. Like this is your strength. But I was adapting on another image that I had in my head that was just shoved into me from social media. And I'm comparing myself to one thing. It was ridiculous. So if I could just, shut off Instagram for a little bit and just see what I have, the tools that I have, I could have adapted a lot faster, I feel like. That's what I would tell her.
And that makes me want to ask, where does your strength come from? I mean, you're a very strong individual. Where's your strength come from? And you seem like you got some leadership skills in you.
Yes. Home, for sure. And I mean, every life aspect for sure, but like for me, because and I don't ever want to think of myself as like a world-class model because I'm not. Like all of these women in this industry have struggles and they have like a really beautiful story as to how they got there. And I don't ever want to downplay that, but how I see me doing it, like, cause like I see it from everybody else and it looks so easy. Like they make it look so easy. But like, of course they can appreciate they are the standard, but, so like there are people that have the standard and they don't have, like they have strength in that. Like they are the strongest top standard. I don't ever want to think of myself as that because we are completely different women. But for me, it was a respect thing. And it was because I respect my parents so much. If I'm insecure about anything that they gave me, how disrespectful is that? Like they gave me everything that I have that is different that makes me unique. That could have been taken, that I took for granted. Just like I hate my hair color. Like my dad gave me that. How dare you? You know what I mean? Like my mom gave me 2 working broad shoulders from her father. Like how disrespectful of me to think that any part of that is ugly. You know, like it's a genetic appreciation. Like I was a 1 in a million kind of chance to be here, and for me to disrespect a working body like that just breaks my heart. And again, appreciation for the human body in and of itself, because we're like, I just have a nutritional background, so like we had cadavers in school. Getting into like knowing the human body and how it works is you get an appreciation for the machine that you were attached to. It is absolutely insane how much our body does for us, and to ever think that this is wrong seems wild to me, because it's incredible how we're just walking, breathing, seeing every sense. You know, like I have an appreciation for every part that exists on me right now.
You really should start doing coaching, like she said.
I agree. I think,
especially for young women.
More from like, not so much the posing, like you
But
were saying, posing is posing, right? I mean, I can show you to do this and that, that's the end of it. More so from the motivational
That's
point
what I
of
was
view.
saying for young women.
I think that you have a lot to tell, and you should make your voice heard. Like people should listen to this. You know?
And that's why, like, we still recording, but I'm kind of getting off topic of the interview. This is more like off-camera type. But that's why I'm really trying to, like, some of my questions, I was trying to take them away from just the modeling aspect and more of you, just from what you're giving. Because I'm sure the audience that this may touch won't just be in the modeling. Like right now, I feel like you speaking to young women or women in general. That's why I'm asking some of the questions, because you're being very transparent too. So like,
Well, I'm glad, because that's how I was feeling when Lucrezia was
Yeah.
talking. I'm just like, I
Yeah.
needed to hear this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so refreshing.
There's much more to the appearance, you know, but
Yeah.
people don't talk about it.
Yes, but like it's a hidden thing too.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody talks about this.
Yeah.
When like you don't know how many other women feel this way.
and you weren't never, and just looking, like I'm looking at you in a different light now, because I look at when I see your photos, and even just working with you, it's just, like she said, you're so confident, you're so sure about yourself. Some of the things that you named, I was like, wow, I didn't know that you felt that way about your hair or your shoulder. Because the things that, some of our biggest insecurities are stuff that other people envy us about or want. Like, dang, people would kill for this. And sometimes you got to be conscious of that when you think you complimenting someone. Oh, I wish I had your hair. I wish I had your shoulders. I wish. Somebody probably grew up their whole life not wanting that or back. So it's like, it's different hearing it come from you and seeing your evolution to embracing it and appreciating it for what it is. So I think it's you speaking to a lot of women. And that's another thing that I wanted to hear more of your insight on, just women navigating this industry, just being in front of the camera modeling, or having to feel acceptance and just letting them know it's okay. Like a lot of stuff you don't know, or just watching her grow up, it's like, dang, I never knew when women went through these stages in life and stuff. So I feel like that's, I won't say baggage that y'all carry along, but it's a lot of stuff that y'all carry, and to be able to get in front of the camera and put on a mask and be somebody completely different and mask those things is it's amazing in itself, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's again adapted on that, because the influence I do want, if I could ever touch another woman or like a younger woman, if I could ever influence her in any way, I would have her like watch the process personally, because you have the image of what it's supposed to look like in your head, modeling, photography, makeup, like you see it, right? On TV.
Mhm.
And it's romanticized, but it's like, I want, if I could get like this young girl in here and I want to see her watch me pose with my cellulite. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like how this is something, she can see it. I'm like, this is nothing you've never seen before. And I was like, this is still beautiful. And she's going to see that. She's going to see the confidence on my face otherwise. You know what I mean? Because the template is not what you expected. It's new, but it's still beautiful. And I think that's what more women need to see.
So do you feel like body image still plays a big part? And you do? Do you feel the same way too? Body image?
Unfortunately.
Oh, yes.
Which it's important. It's not unfortunate, you know, like I want to say it's a healthy community for the most part, but it's the diversity that we desperately need, because that's what sets you apart. Again, diversity. Like you fit into the template, fine, you've seen the same thing. But like if size, weight, it doesn't matter. You can make anything beautiful. And I would hope I'm living proof of that, like just walking on, you know, just compared to other models in the room, I'm just like standing there with like my thighs are moving when I walk. You know what I mean? Like my arms are moving, like I'm taller, I'm heftier, I'm broader. But it's just like I'm still doing the same thing. And I think a lot more women need to see that, because it still looks good. But they don't think that. To be like a living example.
I agree 100%. It's exposure to something different that somehow make it acceptable
Yes.
to the mass, you know.
Right. But how many people are willing to get there to that
Right.
point? You know what I mean?
Like,
Like
that's
how
the
many
problem.
women are willing to show off a standard flaw and still hold themselves to the higher standard of everybody else in the room, and just so other people can watch it be done? Like that's, again, it's embarrassment, but you get to shut it off. You know, that's part of what you have to do. And if that's inspiring to more people, beautiful.
Have you ever followed or found any sort of inspiration from a specific model in these 10 years that you've been working?
Yes, I want to say it was probably one of my first ever shoots, like 5th or 6th one. And I'm probably only like, you know, I'm so young and I'm so much bigger than I was before too, which did like change my mindset too. But I was invited onto a set in Kansas City. I drove up from Manhattan, Kansas in my old truck. You know, gas ain't cheap. And you know, like the anxiety builds, and we're doing swimwear. And again, like this is a big thing for me, because I'm just like, oh my God, like I've never like been exposed on a camera like this before. Like it's my first ever something like this. And even the owner of the swimwear, she's just like, no tattoos, no piercings, like take out any piercings you have, like all natural looks. Like she was so I got to get a little taste of that, like how disciplined some people are in this look and industry. And there was one girl there, her name was Bella, and on her Instagram header is Bella Tricks or Treat, and Bella Hernandez. And we'll make sure we tag her, because I got to see that firsthand from her. Like she had that aura about her. Like there was just a light coming off of her immediately. And like as soon as I met her, it was hugs, it was love. It was like not a shred of insecurity, not a shred of embarrassment. Like she was just happy to be there she was so happy to meet me. Like some girls could just be so distasteful when you meet them. And I'm like, I don't ever want to be like that to another woman. Like how icky that is. But like how open I was to receiving this girl. She made it that way. I'm coming in insecure as hell.
Right.
But she shut that off immediately, because she lived that example. It's like she's swimming in that, she's doing this, you know, her poses, and I'm just watching her as a new model, and she is that example. Like she wasn't the standard model type, but she looked so incredible from an artistic point of view. And I think that also depends on the person, like whoever's looking at her. Like I can admire her beauty from an artistic standpoint. I'm like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. She doesn't have the model standard type, and I'm like, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And that stayed with me and will forever stay with me, because she was that living example that I never would have thought I'd seen. Like, this is the first I've ever seen this, ever. Wow, this is incredible. You know, I don't have to be like that to do this. And that's what I needed to see when I needed to see it. And I love her. She's in Hawaii now, living her best life, still modeling. The most gorgeous woman I've ever seen. But again, she's not that template. She's different.
Okay.
And it's incredible because she has evolved more than anybody I know in this industry.
Okay.
Do you know her?
Bella,
She has she has an aura around her. She's, kind of like a sensuality without being vulgar. She just fills the rooms. I know what you mean.
she does, yeah, she fills the room.
When I met her, and I think I did her makeup, this was a long time ago. It was probably 6 or 7 years ago. I felt the same way, I was like, she's so different and unique, yet she carries herself in a way that's never arrogant or cocky or nothing like that. It just makes you feel welcome. And I remember her for the same reason that you said. And I felt like, she had this charisma and could fill the room.
Not a smidge of insecurity reeking off of her, even though she wasn't the model standard. And this was my first model I'm ever experiencing. And then like later I would compare Bella to like all of these other models. And I'm just like, Bella's still the most talented I've ever seen. And she doesn't look like any of these girls.
Dang.
I think it's either, I feel bad, it's either Hernandez or Fernandez. I feel bad, but I just know her as my Bella.
I
Okay.
think it's Fernanda.
Fernandez? Okay. Yeah.
Her
Bella.
name is Isabella.
Isabella, yeah.
Yeah, and she
okay.
goes by Bella. Yep.
Like she got this like white ivory skin, dark hair,
Yep.
like just so unique, beautiful.
Dang. If you could do some big, glamorous magazine and work with certain famous creators or movie set, anything, who would that?
I would do some like intense Western stuff.
Or-
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I want to be Annie Oakley. I would want to work with more skin brands. Like, you see freckles, but I'm just like, get mine on there. You know what I mean? Like I want to see something intense. I would love to work with like a brand of skin or obviously Western wear, like Montana, big furs, like Western, like that old Western style, but make it like higher fashion. I think that's like a really hard look to pull off, but I think I could do it. And also, I really love gowns, like not just wedding gowns, but like I want to do like the different colors. Like I want to do those different wedding concepts. Because again, I'm tired of seeing the same stuff. But like I would really love to do like a pink wedding elopement or, something that not everybody sees. Again, I really want to do that different stuff.
Okay. Well, we reflected on
I'm sorry to
10-year
ask, would you mind getting some BTS of like the set? I'm so sorry, Lucrezia.
I was listening.
No, you're good, you're good. I totally forgot too, I'm like in the conversation.
we reflected on some of your 10-year progress from your introduction to modeling. I keep saying photography, but your introduction to modeling to now. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
10 years
10-year
from now,
goals.
dang,
Are we still modeling? Have we took that trip somewhere and start?
yes,
Are we
I
on
think
the cover?
we've taken the trip. I definitely want to be on a cover somewhere. I just have such a heart for local people, like everybody
Okay.
who already got me started here. Like I want to do everything with everybody.
So where is our coaching studio at?
Man, I
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, we're going big.
Yes, if I were to coach,
You got the 20 years
do
experience
it.
now.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
would. Yeah, let's do it like in an arena. Be like, everybody get up here,
Yeah.
and let me tell you what's the weirdest thing about you. You're gonna lean into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be really cool. But I mean, I honestly still feel like I'm so young in the industry. Like I still have so much to learn. I feel like I'm not as experienced as half the people here, which is crazy because but like everybody's experienced here. Like I want to learn from everybody. So I feel so insecure and like bad because I'm just like, don't take my advice, just take everybody's advice. Learn from everybody. And I think that's what I still have to do. I still have so much to learn from everybody.
Would you consider yourself a planner or a live in the moment?
Live in the moment for sure.
Feel that.
For
I
sure.
feel that, yeah.
Yeah. Planning's fine. Planning's great. Like there's always, positives to the planning and you can adapt from that, but it's like it's in the moment stuff where like we both get something that we would have never imagined. Because like if I just get this one idea weird and like we didn't have to say it, but like I'm adapting off of a look you told me to do and we both get something that's like this is what
Right.
we never thought we wanted. You know, I just think that's
I
so
like
cool.
that too, yeah, because it's like you're just putting together different elements and seeing what you create, what comes out. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes I feel, so that's the only thing. Sometimes I feel like planning puts me in a box and then it gives me some type of anxiety sometimes because I feel like I gotta nail it exactly how it was
Exactly,
planned.
yeah.
Versus just saying, hey, we're gonna do this, do that, add some things, and let's just see what happens. Because then it feel like you can't do anything wrong. But then when I try to plan it too much, it's like, man, I don't think planning is for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so much more difficult for you though. Like I don't have a box of creativity that I just belong to. You know, like I can just do literally anything. Like you tell me to look this way and I'm like, I'll do whatever the hell I want. There's no manipulation. Like there's nothing I have to fix or think about. Whereas you, it's like I have a greater appreciation for that side as well too. Cause I'm like, he's doing more work than I could ever imagine. Like I'm just flailing around. Like
Believe it or not, I'm just playing around like all this stuff. That's the fun part because it's like, man, you got to quit thinking. You got to look at it from their point of view sometimes, like you doing it on a professional level. But to me, I'm just playing around with stuff. Hey, you want to try some stuff out? Like when I used the spotlight, I was like, hey, you just want to try this out?
Right.
But it's like, dude, like, no, you got to start. And I like the feedback Lucrecia was giving when she was saying, as far as coaching our students and stuff, it's not just about the skill, it's everything coming together. It's your mannerisms, it's your posture, all that stuff, because essentially you are your brand. So you want to look and come off as if you know what you're doing, not just knowing what you're doing. You come to shoot, hey, all right, I'm ready to do your makeup.
Yep.
You're selling your brand. So all that makes sense, and it's an eye opener. Like, oh, okay.
Yep.
You represent yourself.
Or when they show up in sweatpants,
Yeah.
I want to
yeah,
kill them.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you working in sweatpants? You can't really put a pair of jeans on? Like, what?
Yeah, literally.
I think this was a pretty good interview. We got tons of great content. Is there?
I do have a goal though. Can I
Let's
tell
shoot-
you all
let's
my
shoot it.
goal?
No, shoot it.
I do want to do a big runway, one at least. You know what I mean? Because like I want to stomp on that runway with like my thighs moving around. You know what I mean? Just because like I want to be proud to be up there, to be not on the template. I think that would be so much fun. I want to do that.
You answered the question, so that's what I was trying to get at a long time.
Okay, yeah.
That's I want to know what yeah. So that's why I was asking like what celebrity or photographer you would want to work with, because I'm pretty much like, what's your dream? If you could do whatever you want with your craft, what would it be?
No, I do. I've always dreamt of this. Do you know those? And like I feel like they're always like the higher brands, but like it's a gown that is made by a woman who you know loves women. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. It's not a wedding dress. It's just a gown made for a god. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to walk in something like that, like something so beautiful that was made by human hands. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, the dangers of AI pose so much to the industry. I've always wanted to do something so ethereal like that, I think, or be a part of something so beautiful. You know what I mean? Because like that is just like, it's a dream. You're just walking in this dream. I want to do that. Don't matter how dramatic it is. Like I want the biggest dress. I want the most length, the most fabric on it, you know? Wrap me up, it don't matter. Like I've always wanted to do that. And I do have one story though for you guys, because I'm really proud of this. Is like if I could have like a proud moment in modeling, it would be this, and it's why I want to do that runway moment. It was Kansas City Fashion Week, and it was this beautiful Western designer. Loved her work. Didn't see the outfit until like, you know, the day before, and I'm like, I actually like this outfit. Like this is gonna be great, you know? Everything fit for the most part, and it's like probably my third runway show ever, so I'm still like a little uneasy. I'm going back literally to change into this outfit. And another model, she's just like, I took your outfit. I just really liked it. Like, I really wanted to wear it. Like the other outfit just wasn't working for me. And like, because I knew I'm just like, whatever, give me the other. Like I wasn't mad. You know what I mean? I'm just like, don't matter, give me the other one. You know what I mean? Because like I saw what she had on, but I'm just like, I'll give it a try. But I didn't have like any doubts about it. And I put it on and I stomped on the runway. And those were my favorite runway pictures ever Like just that last minute outfit change
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be mine. Wasn't mad at anybody, one, but I'm just like, yeah, put it on, I got it. Don't matter. Like, I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to do something like that. It's like I already proved myself I can do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't matter, last minute change, I did it, you know? And my cellulite was out. You know what I mean? Like I had these short little shorts on and I
Yeah.
had a cape on. So like there was like a little insecurity there, but I'm just like, nope, lean into it, stomp, make everything move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it ended up being my favorite photo ever.
You got those photos?
Yeah, I
up?
do.
I need to see those.
I'll show 'em to you too, yeah.
That's hard. That's hard.
Thank you. Sorry, that was just like my
Nah,
one
thanks.
proud
Yeah,
moment
yeah,
That's
yeah.
as like a,
We got to do this again. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap this up. Any last messages for the audience or anything that? Either one.
Either
This
one.
one. I'll do this one.
This
This
one
one.
is
Yeah, yeah.
film- they're
This
both
one. It's
filming.
facing you.
this is facing
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Be weird. For the love of God. Quit being embarrassed. Be uncomfortable for a second. You'll be all right. Swear to God. Okay? You're a better person for it. I know it's scary. Don't worry about it. For real.
Hey,
You're doing great.
hey. Thank you. Thank you.